Talk About Podcast. Even though this ain't the podcast, this is Talk About That. You guys can follow us on Instagram, follow us on TikTok, and subscribe here on YouTube. Just want to say you guys can also go to our website, talkaboutpodcast.com. We have the gameplay rankings and some more stuff up there. And also, all audio platforms, Mr. Giggles.
Nothing.
So hold on, we're gonna start off the podcast before I get into anything because I was trying to plug everything. But I want to talk about something real quick. But first, we have a great guest today on Talk About That. Thank you for doing this on short notice.
Of course.
Because we have a lot of guests lined up, but this week was a crazy week for Talk About That guests. So today our guest is Eric Cooper, one of my buddies from Jiu Jitsu. Raleigh's Mr. Jokes Boy. But I want to talk about something. Let me ask you a question. Don't you think that it's probably a little bit frustrating when you come here 2 hours early, right? I'm giving you like a hypothetical story. If you come over to your friend's house and for 2 hours you like fix things up, try to get things cleaned up, try to get things organized, getting it all ready for the podcast, right? And you do nothing except sit on your chair and watch the press conference.
School.
That's all you did.
Work yesterday, and then I got school again.
Okay,
and I
so
just
you
got home.
okay.
I was bouncing to Hamzat's music.
Okay, there's 5 billion
and then I
people
took
who go
a
to
dump
school
and watch podcasts.
Like,
and
this
then
is-
I went to
we're good.
school.
I know. And what did school and work yesterday and school today have anything to do with you sitting there and doing nothing to help me set anything up?
I
Except
don't know.
cut me off
I had to
during the
watch-
freaking
I had to
plug.
watch the
So how
press
about you plug
conference that
everything?
Came out at 9 o'clock.
How about you plug everything?
What?
How about you plug the rest of the stuff? I'm saying I was trying to plug everything.
No, plug
and
it.
you're,
Plug it. I just
I'll
smile.
plug
we
it now.
keeping this
'cause
in?
yeah, I'm keeping it in. I'm serious. I'm asking you a question.
I mean, I'd be kind of frustrated.
Yeah, a
but
little
I mean,
frustrated. So anyway, we are now on all audio platforms. If you guys want to listen to our podcast while you're at work, maybe while you're at school, you can listen to our podcast at Talk About Podcasts on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you listen. But yeah, let's get to the guest. Eric, dude, this is going to be a great podcast. And like I said, I thank you for doing that. You just came back from Texas, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
how was
sir.
that?
How was Texas?
Dude, it was awesome. It's beautiful down there, and it's so warm. It was 70 the whole time.
Now, you were there for what? You were there for a
4
horse show,
days.
right?
Well, I got there on Tuesday, and the Friday there was a big old horse show.
Gotcha.
Like the 5 top people in the world were riding. But dude, it's so nice down there. 70 degrees, t-shirt the whole time.
Right. You
Yeah,
did this
riding
for...
horses.
Oh, so you were riding horses, too.
Yeah,
Went
yeah.
there with your boss. It was just you two?
Uh-huh.
Flew there?
Yep.
Nonstop flight?
Yeah.
No stops or nothing?
I heard that you shot some pigs or something.
I shot 1 pig.
Jesus.
And it was a baby.
And he said it was like a pig like
Oh,
this
dude,
big.
yeah. I mean, it was probably this big.
Dude, why did you do that?
It was the only one at the feeder. So we were
Murdered that pig.
we were under some trees, right? And we're like scoped in.
Why? What? Are you allowed to do this?
Yeah. They own a huge ranch and they raise deer and stuff. And the boars will go to the deer feeders and they'll try to because they're on a timer. So at 7 in the morning it goes off, and the boars will get there and they won't let the deer eat. And so I mean it's pretty good. They're invasive. You know what I mean?
Headshot bang.
I know, but why? Why are we? I don't understand. Like, they have a ranch and they kill pigs and they eat them and stuff. Like, this is
no,
like a
you
normal.
don't eat them.
You just shoot
Yeah,
them in the
you
head
don't.
and
You
call it
just
a day and leave
kill
them
'em
there on
and
the
then-
floor?
Yeah.
Really?
No, this
Pretty
is not
much.
a real.
Nah.
Yeah, you do.
You eat them.
No, they don't
That's,
eat them.
do you know how fucked up that is? That's
Get
fucked
some
up.
bacon. At least get something out
Why
of
don't
it.
you
They're
do that?
wild.
Why you just do it for fun?
Well, also, and to kill them because they're not supposed to be there. They're invasive,
Oh, okay.
and they're eating their, because
Yeah.
they're raising the deer for
It'll-
like their antlers and stuff. So
It'll
like,
live
That's
somewhere,
also
though.
fucked up too. By the way.
yeah. I mean, I don't.
Okay, so
disagree.
let me grow up deer. Let them get nice and huge. I'm gonna have them in a fence, and then I'm gonna go out.
I don't think they
in the
really use
beginning-
them for meat though. They like breed them.
Okay, and then they get huge antlers, and they kill them, and then they put them up on their wall.
I don't know if they kill them.
Then
I'm not
what-
sure. They might.
I mean,
Messed up.
that is a little bit messed up. So that's why you went to Texas to shoot pigs, little pigs.
And-
I thought you were there for the horse show. What's
Well, the horse show.
Well, yeah,
probably,
and to ride horses and
and
you
just
know.
the environment.
Okay,
right?
but hold on.
Yeah.
Before we move on from this topic, like, I'm still confused. So who has the farm? Your boss?
no, his he's friends with people who work there.
Okay.
There's like these.
And they work there, and what are they working for? What is the point of this?
They're training horses.
Training horses,
Yeah.
but there's also deer that they grow.
Yes, but the
And
people
pigs.
that we were there with, they just train the horses.
Oh.
But
So why did
they
you-
work for this huge ranch that these unbelievably rich people own?
Okay, but why did you shoot the pig?
'Cause
Still don't
why
get it.
not, dude? You go to Texas
going
and go
back.
boar hunting.
Swinging back.
Yeah, that is kind of how it seems to be. So you went there, you had a good time. The weather was warm. There
Oh,
for 4
yeah,
days.
man.
When did you get back?
The Saturday.
Okay,
morning, that
so
Saturday.
the Thursday before that, I don't know if you remember. I slightly don't remember, probably because of your knee. The Thursday before, I got a concussion,
Yeah.
courtey of you.
A little
Yeah,
knee.
I really did get a concussion. Went to the
Really?
doctors.
Yeah.
I was out all last week.
You
but
didn't
I
go to the gym
showed
at all
up.
last week.
Nope, I was there more than anybody else. I was at the gym all week from Monday
But you didn't train.
to Sunday, but I did not train. Used the
In the
sauna,
sauna?
watched. Dude, it was bad. You gave me a bad concussion. My head hurt. My eye the next day, moving it left to right.
From my perspective, though, it was like I had your back like this, and you broke out, and you came to shoot.
I tried to
and
duck
it-
under, yeah.
Yeah,
and then
well,
your knee
like,
came
when
up,
you came,
right?
No, I didn't even move my leg. You just
Yeah,
Oh.
you just
Right.
ducked down because as soon as I looked over,
I didn't
you
even
ducked
move.
down
I was
and
just
then-
I
It
stood
just
there.
happened.
I stood
And I
there for a
just heard
second
a-
afterwards, like. Oh
So when
my
I fell down
God,
to the
man.
ground, where you're like, "Oh shit!"
I was like, "What the fuck do I do?
Yeah.
This is bad."
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Like
Yeah, I
knocked out
blacked
on the
out for
floor.
a
I
second
felt
too.
sorry.
Took a second, and I could hear you like, "Yo, you good? Yo, you good?" And I was just like, "I need a second." My eye was like, that's what I was
Yeah.
most worried about. I was like,
Did your eye get hurt at all?
no black eye, no marks, no nothing but pain
Just
when I
the-
would move it. So for the
Oh,
like
wow.
3 days, 4 days after, yeah, it was pretty bad. But then it started to clear up. Got back into the gym yesterday. Didn't roll Monday because I was on a trip with my girlfriend. On Tuesday, did gi. Felt not great. Just wasn't.
What about it?
I don't know. Just wasn't in my zone. But then
Right.
did gi yesterday. I felt great, dude.
Yeah.
I'm starting to figure out gi like
Yeah.
well. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think.
once you get the hang of it, it's like addicting.
Yeah, I'm just good to. It's so good. I love gi. Honestly,
Oh,
I
yeah?
used to not like at all. Like
When I was watching this with Chris,
I
on
know
it,
he's like
he-
going off about
He
it.
hated you.
I
That's
know,
the thing.
he's
You
like-
can't tell when he's serious.
Yeah,
either.
I know.
Hey,
How did you
that's what
get
I'm like.
into everything? Why did you pick jujitsu? All that.
Well, it was my dad. My dad was he did jiu-jitsu for I think it was like a year and a half before I did, and he was I don't know, I don't know why he started it, but he was doing it, and he was like, I think you should really. I was like 12, about to turn 13, and he was like, he wasn't like gonna force me to do it, but he was like, I would really appreciate it. I would really like it if you came and at least watched the jiu-jitsu class. So I watched like 3 classes, and I was like, you know what, I'll give it a shot because you could do it free for
How
a
old?
week.
How old were you? How old are you now? 17.
I'm 17.
Okay, so how old were
So
you when
did
you
it for
started?
I
4
was-
years.
Yeah.
Okay, but
I think I was about to turn 13.
okay, started and you went into the kids class.
No, I never did the kids class.
Okay, so you went straight to the adult type
Yeah.
class. Okay, so at the time they were giving green belts to everybody. So you did get a green belt, right? You went
They
white
don't do
belt.
that now?
I know they do that for the kids, but they're not doing that for if you're 18 or older, especially.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh, okay.
Change that. So you went white to green to blue.
Yeah.
Like when I get my blue, I'll go, or when I go to blue, I'll
You don't get a
go-
green?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think they only do that for the
So
teens.
you just go white to blue. You
yeah,
skip
how it's
green.
supposed to be. The belts
Well,
are
adults used to get green belts.
right
a lot
at
of
that
people used to get
at
green.
the specific gym though. But every gym's different.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Most
No-
gyms don't have a green
No,
belt.
it's white, blue. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's a good. I like how Rev has it for the kids, especially because let's say you get into it when you're 8 years old, you're obviously not going to be like a blue belt. So
Yeah.
like having like the white and then the white and gray and then the gray and then the yellow and then
Yeah,
it
then
makes
the
it.
green's at the top.
Yeah, it makes it fun. But you did get your green belt. So
Yeah.
when did you go from white belt to green belt?
I don't even know if I remember. I think it was probably about a year.
Okay, and then
Because I remember when I was a white belt, it was in the Defiant.
yeah,
It was the first gym. You know what
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
talking
yeah,
about?
I did stuff for wrestling there.
Yeah.
Did you?
No.
Okay,
I didn't do wrestling, but that's where the first jiu-jitsu
Right,
gym
right.
was. But
because they've bounced around a couple times.
yeah, I don't know. I feel like I went through white belt kind of fast, but
Sort
it was
of
probably for like 8 months to a year
Gotcha.
for me to get my green belt.
Okay, and then do you know from green the blue?
Well, you can't get your blue belt until you're 16, and I've had my blue belt for about a year.
Okay.
So like,
Yeah, but now here's the thing: with your blue belt, you're straight blue, right? No stripes on it or anything. But that's because you're not rolling as
not in gi, but not as much.
Not even no gi. Right? Now, is it because it's just not a big priority for you right now?
Kinda. I mean, yeah. Just I've been trying to get like a lot of my life situated. You know what I mean? I want it to be more consistent. I try to come. I don't feel like I'd ever be able to not do jiu-jitsu. I mean, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
I mean, you're there like once a week.
Yeah.
Maybe twice with coming on Fridays, but I don't really. Yeah. Fridays is more like.
I mean, I don't want to stop going, but it's not a huge priority right now.
You think it will be again?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I would like to come more than I do right now. Like 2 or 3 times a week.
Yeah, but 2 or 3 times a week is pretty good.
Yeah. I would yeah.
But what about competing?
I've never competed, and I don't know. The thing is, the only way, like, I don't have the urge to compete. You know what I mean? I'm not sure exactly. Like, the people that do compete, I feel like it's what they want to do. You know what I mean? I feel like it's something like I want to go compete for whatever reason that is, and I just feel like I don't have that reason. I feel like the only reason, if I were to go compete now, I feel like it would only be to like please the other people. You know what I mean? So that's why.
Really?
Yeah.
You have no desire.
No.
Why?
You don't want to at all.
I don't know.
Do you? Do you want to compete when you start getting into it? Like, for real?
Once I get good.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I want to compete.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think it's great to do.
But I knew it wasn't like a high priority. That's why I asked.
Right,
I mean,
yeah.
we had a similar conversation with Chris about priority, and like, Chris is really good, but
Amazing.
Doesn't seem to be a high priority. But you're not
Yeah.
really there a lot. Like, I feel like I've been able to catch up to you a little bit because I'm always there.
Yeah.
And you're only there so much.
I mean, I used to go like 5
But if
days
you
a
were
week.
there, dude, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I think that maybe that is a subconscious reason that I haven't been going as often, because I feel like I hit a certain point, you know what I mean? And it's kind of like
you're just staying
I don't need
at
to
that.
work as hard to be good. Or
Yeah, you get to a spot where
Maybe.
you can roll with everybody, but you're not improving.
yeah.
Like, if you want me to, like, okay, like, this is what I would say. Like, you have guys that go to the gym, and let's just say they're not very good to any gym. Or if you have guys that are extremely good, if you're showing up, you're making some sort of progress.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
definitely.
you can hang with 99% of the people in the gym, but you're not improving for yourself. You know what I mean?
Definitely not nearly as fast as someone who would be going in as often.
Well, do you think a Thursday class really isn't too much? It's more of like based on like trying to stay moving and endurance. You think that's really giving you a lot of like, how much progress in the past 6 months have you really given jiu-jitsu, would you say?
I don't know. I feel like I've improved, but it's definitely not, because when I was coming, like, for the first like 3 years, I was coming 4 or 5 days. Like, I was there all the time.
Yeah.
But
you probably felt better then, right?
yeah, I mean, I was improving a lot more rapidly, because it would be like one day you go in and roll, and there was something that was like you were struggling with, and then the next day you got it, you know what I mean? And then you're learning something else.
Yeah.
And now it's almost like I'm not even sure. Like, it's just like I'm rolling.
Because like everybody always
I
like
love
you all the older guys will always come up to me and be like, dude, your gas tank, like it's great. It's like, I don't feel like it's great. Like, okay,
Right,
yeah, maybe
right.
I might be able to, like, when I need it against somebody who's 65 years old, like, no dip,
Yeah,
you know what I
right.
mean? But like, it's not that great. Like, after a 5-minute roll, I mean, when we roll, you're the only person I can roll with, because we
Right.
roll for
Yeah.
like 15 minutes straight, nothing will happen, and then I'm just like, done. It's like,
Yeah.
and then Chris will come out and be like, you want to roll? I'm like, no. I'm like, done now.
Yeah.
I just did 20 minutes like straight. And I always try to, like, when you show up, always try to like prioritize like
I
getting
think
rolls
that
in with
comes
you.
with time. I think that's a big thing that especially when you start jiu-jitsu, you don't see it at all. But from like white belt to blue belt, it's mostly like techniques. You're like developing a foundation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, I mean, I can't speak from like brown to black, but like once you get your blue belt, at least it's like
your chord's like hitting the.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Just push the mic back a little. Oh yeah, that's fine.
But once you're at like,
yeah, that's what I mean. You're good. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, yeah, it is interesting. I think the way you come in also depends. Like, there's a lot of guys that obviously are very skilled that have backgrounds and stuff. Takes a lot slower process. I asked this question to Chris, and I think anytime I have somebody who grapples on, especially in jiu-jitsu, I'm going to ask them this question. How do you feel like belts should be? By skill, by maturity, by time on the mat? Should it all play a factor? Kind of all does play a factor right now. I'm asking you for your personal opinion. It's your opinion. So Jimmy John might think you're, wrong, but I want to know what Eric Cooper thinks. That's why
I think that it should be 100% based on skill.
100%.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Yeah. I think that, what else is, like, you know what I mean? Like, if it was on time and you've been grappling for, like, 2 years and you're beating everyone who's been doing it for 10 years, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? I don't get it.
Yeah, I
You
don't
should
get
be
it.
Rushed.
I think it's only skill.
I get it, like,
That makes sense.
I don't think...
Maybe not only skill.
Yeah,
it's
I think 100%
95.
skill, maybe not. Because, like, if somebody comes in, wrestling background...
And then the next
They're a
week you
D1
get
wrestler.
blue belt.
They're a D1 wrestler. Yeah, the next week
That's
they get their...
happened, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
They get their blue belts pretty fast.
They get their blue belts pretty fast, but should they be getting it?
Yeah, I think they definitely should be.
Yeah.
And like a week
you-
later.
I
You
think...
I mean, if they're beating everyone else, you know what I mean?
Yeah, if
that's
they know a little bit
lower-
of something. I agree. I do think it should be more based off skill because it kind of defeats the purpose of what it means to get a stripe on your belt and to get promoted. Let's say that this one guy who has experience comes in, but because he's so good, but he's only been doing it for 1 year, he's going to get his stripes every 3 months because they have to do it that way. It kind of defeats the purpose of what it means to get a stripe. Like, when somebody puts a stripe on your belt, you're supposed to be happy, right? Same thing with especially when you get promoted. D1 wrestler who comes in, gets a stripe. What is so freaking funny?
Huh?
This guy.
I'm like about to fart. I'm about to take a stinker.
You see what I'm trying to say?
What?
The joy's not going to be the same from getting promoted and getting stripes if you know that there's this time that you have to wait because of your experience on the mat. I don't think that it should be 100% based on skill because there's people that grind.
Yeah, that
grind
makes
every
sense
day.
because if a wrestler comes in and a week later they get their blue belt and they're like, oh, okay.
I have two things.
But then it takes a year and then they're like, oh my God.
I would say before you say what you said, I would say any D1 or high level, D3 even, any good wrestler who comes into jiu-jitsu is probably a blue belt level. But once you get to blue belt, it's where things change. I personally believe.
Yeah.
Like, that same wrestler now really needs to start jiu-jitsu because once he goes into the purple belt realm, everything's going to change.
Oh, yeah, purple belt will destroy it.
But from white to blue, I think you can get a good wrestler or somebody who's good in the grappling department, which the only other way would be wrestling if you didn't already do jiu-jitsu. They should probably already propel the blue belt pretty close because they can hang with the blue belts. And they can probably hang with purple belts too. But from blue to purple, I think things change.
Oh, yeah. I mean, from white to blue, there's like the least amount of change. And then, you know what I mean? It gets progressively more from there. But the amount of time that you spend at the gym doesn't necessarily mean that your skill is improving. But, you know what I mean?
I don't think so either. But I think that plays a factor.
Well, yeah, of course it. But
not in the skill. I mean, like
everyone's different, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, someone could be in the training for a year and get half as far as someone who's been doing it for 6 months.
Yeah, it's very true.
I mean, I feel like the best way to think about the belt thing is to just not care.
Yeah, don't think about it. Just roll.
Yeah.
because honestly,
good
it's more.
time.
It's probably a little bit more of a privilege to be a white belt and then be sweeping and submitting all the purple belts, right? Be like, dude, I'm wearing this
true,
white
right.
belt and I'm subbing you and sweeping you and this,
Look
that,
at
and
me,
the other.
dude, I suck. And
Yeah, and I mean, I'm just saying, like, if that is something that you do, then that's interesting. It does seem like, and the reason why we said earlier in the podcast on Fridays that you don't care, or that I don't count it as much, because on Fridays
Right,
it's more of a smaller class, but you've been doing a little bit more of the sparring. Do you like MMA, doing MMA more than jiu-jitsu?
I feel like my answer would be different if I've been doing MMA for as long as I've been doing jiu-jitsu.
If you did it both at the same time, it'd probably be MMA. That's what you're saying. Or no?
I feel like I could do jiu-jitsu like more for sure. I mean, you know, when I'm getting punched in the face,
yeah.
it's like,
Yeah, that's
I don't
good.
know.
Yeah, but a little light spar wouldn't hurt.
No, I mean, it's
boxing
great.
gloves
MMA is
instead of
great.
MMA gloves.
MMA is amazing. It's
Do you
very
watch
fun
MMA?
and a little bit.
So
I mean, I
okay,
used
so let
to
me
a
ask
lot
you.
more,
This
but-
is something that I can never grasp. You're an MMA guy. You like MMA, but you don't watch MMA. I don't get it. How did
like the UFC.
Yeah.
I used to all the time. I used to be super.
So what
into it.
changed? Because if anything, the sport is
Getting
better
better.
now.
Well, there was a time where it was getting worse. It was.
When?
6 months ago. I mean, it was
stop
on the
it.
decline.
What?
How? Okay.
What, when Connor got hurt?
Kinda.
Okay.
I mean,
2 years ago?
Okay. Tell me. I just want to
Well,
know
I
why.
mean-
I'm not saying you're wrong. Just, why?
I don't know. It was like maybe it's because I liked the champions better back then. Like, I don't really. I mean, I liked Izzy a lot. You know what I mean? When he
Yeah,
was the
I
champ,
like-
but he's been kind of.
Dirt.
I like
Yeah.
To watch.
Izzy's like freaking kissing and like.
See John Jones versus
Ngannou.
yeah.
Who do you
and
think wins that fight?
Yeah.
Probably Jones.
John Jones is
Yeah,
not
John,
gonna lose.
Wow, that's from John Jones right here.
Yeah, it probably is. No, I mean, but I'm just curious because, like, I was curious why you don't, because we can't really talk about it. Like, you know, like we obviously do the UFC podcast and everything, but you're not. I
Right.
know you know about it,
Yeah.
but how invested are you? Like, we're invested. You know, like I could
Definitely
tell you.
not as much as you are. I mean,
But I was just
know
curious.
the
Do you
names.
watch the fights? Do you watch them?
No, not anymore. I
What
haven't.
What's your favorite UFC fighter? Like from past or now? The Iceman, Chuck Liddell.
No.
Go back
way,
to
dude.
1634 days. bro.
Probably John Jones. I guess.
John Jones. Yeah.
I mean-
he's doing a little dance in the middle of the octagon when he won, like a cowboy dance. Did you see that?
When you watch Conor McGregor in his prime, though, I mean, that was great.
Yeah,
He's
that
the
was
king.
insane,
He's
bro.
the elite of the elite.
He's gonna
You know
lose-
Michael
he's gonna
Chandler.
lose by
So who do you
Chandler,
think's
though.
winning that fight? Conor McGregor or
Chandler's
Michael
winning.
Chandler?
I think Conor's winning.
Yeah. No way.
Dude, he's been
Connor
on
has like
gear.
a 5-year layoff, broke his leg. Now he's like freaking.
You just have like no reason. Like
What are
we
you talking
are.
about?
he's
He's
been
gonna
out-
wrestle.
he's been
gonna
out of-
wrestle. Chandler's gonna wrestle and literally maul him.
He's
I
been
don't know
out of
why
like
you
the
think
drug
that.
test, though.
Yeah, he still has to get back in the
Yeah.
use.
Well, I mean, he's been out of
6
it. That's what I'm
months.
saying.
Yeah, it takes
and
time.
for a broken leg, I'm sure he's on steroids. I'm sure he's on.
yeah, he's definitely
He's
on.
on
something.
something.
Which I
but
mean, understandably, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
If
that's a
my
little
leg
bit
heals-
different.
if my
That's a
leg-
little bit different.
that's just healing his ankle.
And he
or
was
leg.
huge. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
yeah, he's big guy. What do you like doing more, riding horses or grappling? Because you're Mr. Horse guy now. You know, I wanted to get into the horses a
I
little
would
bit, but ever since you started talking about the whole pig thing, like it kind of threw me off. We went from horses to like
shooting baby.
shoot.
pigs.
Yeah, like, I
Back
didn't
to
get
the
that. I
pigs.
didn't like that.
Yeah, that's a little.
But what do you like more? What do you like more, grappling or riding the horses?
I would say grappling for that because, like, you can do jujitsu just as a hobby. You know, you just go to the gym. You know what I mean? But horses, it's hard to not be super involved. You know what I mean? And I kind of don't like that, man. You know what I mean?
Okay, so you think you will compete though in jiu-jitsu? Let's go back. You think you ever will? I get it. You don't want to do it, or
I
you're
don't
not,
think
it's
that
not
I could. I think that I'm gonna do it at some point.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
do.
I don't think I'm never gonna compete. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, at least for right now, and I've felt this way since I started jiu-jitsu, I haven't had the urge to, like, where it's like I want to go see if I'm better than other people are. You know what I mean?
If you don't care, your whole mic's like half breaking. If you don't care very much about, doing it, then you shouldn't just compete, because here's what's gonna happen.
That's what
I mean,
I've been
everything
saying.
you can say what you want, but like when you do go to grapple, dude, like somebody puts you in an armbar, they're not just gonna like
they're
be
gonna
like, yeah,
try to break.
You
it.
mean in
you good?
competition?
Yeah, they're gonna try to snap that.
Oh yeah, of course.
So that's why like, I feel like if just for anybody, if you're gonna do it, don't half-ass it. That's for
Oh
sure.
no.
Any of that
yeah,
stuff
if you sign up for a
dangerous, man.
competition, you got to be ready to.
You have to have the right mindset.
Yeah, you got to be ready to either break someone's bones or walk out with.
That's
an
what I'm
injury.
saying.
You got to
like,
be.
you
able
can't
to
just be
accept
like,
that.
oh, I'm gonna compete today,
Yeah.
and then you go.
Yeah,
out
you
there
have
and get
to
your neck snapped.
definitely-
And then
Like,
your freaking knees.
You have to
like,
accept.
You're like
that
drooling
you're-
on the floor because you're like sleeping.
Yeah, you have to accept
Your
that
knees,
you
like,
might
kissing
walk
your
out of there with a
face.
bad injury.
Yeah. You've been in jiu-jitsu for a while. You've been at the same gym for a good while.
Mhm.
You train at Rev. Let me ask you this question: who do you think are some of the best people you've rolled with? What have been some of the best rolls you've had? Maybe that's the better question. You've probably rolled with a lot of great people, but what are rolls that you can remember that you're like, dude, that was a solid roll?
Like that was fun. Like
Yeah.
I mean, my dad,
Yeah.
Chris, Jamie.
You like rolling with your dad?
He's very
Because
yeah.
I mean, he's not.
He's been injured,
and I
but
know,
I mean,
and I know he's just like it's also like your dad,
He's
but
really
he's
good,
also
though.
good at jiu-jitsu. Like he's
very
actually
good.
like
He's
good.
very good. Yeah.
He's a purple belt.
Yeah.
So do you do like rolling them? Ever get him?
Yeah.
Ever get a sub on him?
Hell no.
No, never happened.
No. But
So you like rolling with Chris, Jamie? You said.
yeah. Austin, I mean, I've had a lot of good rolls with Austin because
Yeah,
we're kind of
Austin's
just
so great to roll
clashing
with.
heads.
He's just not there a lot. Same thing.
Right,
Not there
yeah.
as much,
He's
but when
busy
he
as
is
hell,
there,
though.
dude, I know.
But-
It seems like he's got a lot going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a great guy to roll with. Yeah, so it seems like more of the higher level guys. Like Jamie, obviously, is the guy
Yeah.
there, and
Well, that's
Chris.
Nick.
Main
Oh
guy.
man, I used to have great rolls with Nick.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Do you think that you'll ever get into MMA? You think you'll ever get in an MMA fight? I mean, if you're already like half-assed and thinking about grappling, I'm guessing grappling would be first.
They're kind of different, you know.
Would you
I
ever get
mean-
into MMA? I mean, that's a whole other ball game.
I used to think about it. I
But
don't
I'm-
know about right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but do you actually have it? You know what I mean? Like, do you actually have that? Like, I'm not saying like you can't do
I
it.
You
feel
have
like
to have
I-
the killer mentality to do it.
It's not even that. Are you disciplined enough?
Well, that too. Yeah.
No, I mean, I feel like I would do a jiu-jitsu competition before an MMA fight. But if I did a jiu-jitsu competition, an MMA fight wouldn't be long after. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, amateurs, you can't use your elbows or your knees.
You can't even do head kicks.
Yeah. No, I think you can do that.
I mean, I'm sure it depends on what corporation
Yeah.
or whatever.
but
But
you're just using your hands and your feet. You know?
I had no idea. I didn't even.
Really?
I had no idea that you couldn't use.
there's a lot of rules.
A lot.
There's a lot.
I heard from
but
that
you know,
from
here's
You
Sugar.
have to have shin
Sugar
pads.
said that. Here's another problem about
You wear shin pads too.
speaking of rules. That's the. I think jiu-jitsu is starting to get bigger. But that's the one
it's gotten
problem.
so big.
But that's the one problem with it. There's not a natural rule set, and there isn't a natural place. Like you got like so many different promotions. They're all kind of like
Should
you
be
know,
like a UFC.
yeah. There
like,
needs to be
boom.
yeah, maybe a little bit smaller. I've been very vocal about this. I think MMA should be the pinnacle of it all, and then all the other martial arts should fall under it, including boxing. Boxing should not, in
you
my
think
opinion.
jiu-jitsu's at the top?
No, MMA.
Oh, right. Okay.
And then everything else. I don't think it should be MMA and boxing. I think it should be MMA, and then all underneath is boxing, Muay Thai, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu,
Like at
wrestling.
the name of a gym or something? You
No,
know what
I'm
I
just
mean? Or
saying in general, like at globally highest known sport, I
Oh,
think
like
it
MMA
should
is
be
like-
mixed martial arts because that's
it's
everything.
the most technical.
Yeah, it's everything in
it's-
one.
Right. Yeah.
You like boxing?
I like boxing a lot.
More than MMA?
No.
Okay.
No. That's the
Do
thing.
you think which is the better sport? Like as a
MMA.
company,
It's not,
MMA.
MMA for
it's
sure.
not even close.
Yeah.
But that's the
But-
thing.
but
when you-
Because
boxing
they
is-
have Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis,
That's
and
it.
then that's it.
But boxing's a
Who
great
else?
thing, great art, just like grappling. It's
Like-
only you can't throw elbows and stuff in grappling,
That's
right?
weird.
You're not.
No.
But I'm just saying, like that's why those are arts, and MMA is all of it.
Yeah,
in one.
boxing's just using your hands.
So if you
That's it.
can
they're, well, they're
perfect-
all very different. If you've ever
Yes.
done just boxing and then you do kickboxing, it's like, okay, well, I'm in a completely different thing
Everything
right now.
changes.
And then
But
you do
what would you-
MMA.
Right, but what would you want to know the most if you out of them?
MMA.
Yeah, because it's
All
all
of
of
it.
them. It's like almost unfair. It would be like,
then you got to think about street fights. You know
would
what
you
I mean?
rather be a boxer in a street fight or a
MMA.
grappler?
MMA.
No, grappler.
Oh, well, you mean
no
like
MMA?
like boxing or
You're
jiu-jitsu
you're
or
a
grappling?
jiu-jitsu grappler or a boxer.
I'd I mean, a lot of people that do jiu-jitsu would not like this answer, but I think boxing. If I'm
Yeah,
thinking,
but because
but no, hold on.
all street fights go on the ground at some point.
Do you, if you're on the street and they say you get one option, you can
I'd
either
rather
be a
be
boxer.
boxing.
What happens when I take you down to the ground and you know no grappling?
Try to get up.
What, you're going to start hitting 1-2s on the floor with your head up to the sky?
Left hook.
I mean, come on. You're done. Bedtime.
Well, I mean,
look, if you catch me, I'm
But if
screwed.
you catch
Well, hold on.
Yeah, I'm done.
Hold on. If we're saying just street fight,
That's what I'm talking
Just
about.
a street
on a
fight.
street fight.
you don't know who's coming up. You know what I mean? I don't know if you got friends. I
No.
don't know if someone's coming up behind me.
It's just all hypothetical.
Yeah, that's
one-on-one. It's one-on-one. We're in the
then I'd
park.
rather be a grappler.
Oh.
If it's
Yeah,
if I know that it's just me and you and
Okay,
no
I
one
see.
else can get
But you're
in,
saying if there's multiple people,
And
you
if you're
can't
on the
be on the ground with multiple
you're gonna
people.
get your head stomped
Yeah,
on by
that's
someone.
true.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
That makes
Multiple
sense,
people, probably boxing.
But one
Yeah.
person.
If-
Muay Thai.
If I'm in a
dude.
place I don't know and like,
But you know
I don't
what's
know
pro-
who I'm messing with. He might have someone. I don't want to be grabbing him. I don't want to. You know what I mean? I want to hit him.
But
and
what
get
about the
out.
pinnacle? The pinnacle of all that should probably be more like kickboxing or Muay Thai because then you can strike with both your arms
Yeah.
and your legs.
I mean, Muay Thai is like.
But if you get one, you get one. The rest of your life, like God says to you, yo, Eric,
Yeah.
you get one thing for the rest of your life to defend yourself, to train.
Jiu-jitsu.
That's what you're choosing.
Yeah.
And MMA is not a part of it because that's all of it. That's what you would choose. What would
I
you
would
choose?
rather do jiu-jitsu than anything else.
I'd think about jiu-jitsu or kickboxing.
Yeah. Dude, I want to get into kickboxing. I want to get into
feel like
Muay Thai.
I feel like kickboxing's.
Muay Thai is kind of hard to train though, and you have to get like knee pads and elbow pads. I mean,
Maybe more kickboxing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We used to do a lot of kickboxing sparring
Yeah.
about a year ago.
I mean, I just think that
He never wants to do an MMA fight at all.
that's not what I said.
No,
I
you
said
said
I'm
you-
leaning more towards
I
no.
never say never. You know
It
what I mean?
used to
But,
be yet more towards yes, but again, there's so
you might
much
feel different about it tomorrow. You know, what I
right,
mean?
but there's
That's why I
so
don't
much
like
that
the
because I
indefinites.
just want to. I'm trying to put my like the ego aside a little bit. Like
So that's a big thing with jiu-jitsu.
Amateurs are pretty dirt though. If you see what Sugar Sean O'Malley
No, I
fought
know.
an amateur, they're like
Yeah.
they don't throw at all.
But you
They're
need to
just
have
a punching
discipline.
Bag. Yeah.
I'm only telling you this because you're my best friend. Like if it was anybody else, I would just be like, yeah, man, you could do it. But like if you want to
be
do
real.
MMA specifically,
Yeah, it'd take like 6 or 7 years to even have one.
I know,
fight.
but like you need to be disciplined.
Well,
no, you don't.
I don't
Bo
know.
Nichols
I
got
don't
a
know
year
about
and a
6 or
half.
7 years.
yeah,
year-
but he wrestled
know,
his whole
clean.
life. So.
Right, but let me ask
He's a
you.
beast.
I'm just saying, like,
You can be a good
need to have
striker
good discipline.
in a year. You could be a good striker in a year if you're dedicated and you.
yeah, you could.
The thing is, I started doing.
Doesn't mean
any
you're gonna
sort
go
of-
fight Israel Adesanya and win,
Of
but
course not. But
Well,
I
I want to
started
know.
doing.
I want to know everything until I.
no, what
I
I'm
started.
talking-
I was doing jiu-jitsu for a long time before I did any other sort of striking.
What? I cut him
no,
off.
it was
I
me
didn't.
too. I think we both were kind of
Okay.
like Eric was like, yeah. So then and we're just like,
But I did jiu-jitsu before anything else, and before like striking, and it felt like it made striking easier, just in terms of being able to be coordinated and use my body. You know what I mean?
right.
That's-
But like, if somebody asked you, have you ever trained MMA? What would your answer be?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
I don't know if there's any MMA gyms out here.
Nah, there is, dude.
There is.
Just going.
I
Just
looked.
MMA
I
there
looked
is?
it
Just
up.
going.
Because
Maybe
I
I'm wrong,
I
but
wanna
just
go
going
to.
to the Volt,
Oh,
just
wow.
going to the Volt, I saw 3 other jiu-jitsu gyms,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
but
that's all
MMA
in the
I mean, if you're
45
looking
minute.
in, like,
MMA gyms.
I feel like there is like kickboxing.
I'm not even sure if there's.
There's a
MMA.
UFC gym in Lancaster. You know that, right?
Is there really?
Yeah.
I'm not driving to Lancaster.
I don't know about that though.
No, there is.
But I'm
Like,
not
what
gonna-
kind
and it
of
has
UFC gym?
jiu-jitsu, MMA, like has everything. Like an actual UFC gym. It says
Oh, yeah,
UFC gym.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You looking it up?
No, I was just looking at something else. But when we had our first roles, you were always my person that I would look at to see how I was
We're the
getting
same
better.
size and
Well,
everything,
that's
you know
why
what
it
I
would
mean?
help. So I
Yeah.
would look at my roles with you on am I
From,
improving?
Like once you get your blue belt, you learn how to do things more efficiently. When I was at your like amount of time training, I was using so much more energy than I do now.
Yeah,
you
but
learn how to be a lot more efficient.
You watch football?
No,
No,
not anymore.
not at all.
No.
Basketball?
I don't really watch sports, to be honest, at all.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, what are you doing? Just watching
What do you
freaking
do? Horse races?
yeah, the
Philosophy.
Derby. Yeah, what's that? What do you
Philosophy?
mean philosophy?
What is that?
What's that? What do you mean philosophy?
What do you mean? What is philosophy?
No, that wasn't my question.
Like-
but first, I
like
guess
what?
you can answer that question. I'm asking, what are you doing with philosophy?
Getting rid of anxiety and
Oh, you like getting, dude? That's freaking great.
changing
What
my
is it?
Riley hates
perspective
these
about life.
Yes,
see-
this is great.
Because I see
yes, finally.
on your story, like
Yes,
a bunch
always
of,
do
of
that.
those things.
If I see a quote and I'm like, that's profound.
post
I
it.
think that other people could benefit from
freaking
this.
great. So we're okay. So are you? You
My-
believe in God?
Yeah. Well, I mean, what do you mean by do I
Are
believe
you?
in God?
Yeah.
Like,
Do you believe in
like,
God?
I believe in God.
Okay.
100%. Like, no doubt.
Okay,
But
but
I mean-
are you assigned with some sort of religion, or are you just?
I was
believing-
baptized, but I mean, I don't read the Bible. I don't go to church.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't feel like you need to be within a religion to be close to God, though.
No, I don't agree. I don't think so either. That you get. I mean,
I believe in God, but I'm not 100% sure.
Which is fine. That's dude. Nobody's
'Cause
100%
I don't
sure.
go to church. I don't read the Bible.
sometimes things happen, and I'm like, there's no way that God's here with me. Right
Yeah,
now.
but if
He
you
is,
try to get closer to God, if you try, just try, like actually
he'll
try.
show himself.
like go
He
at
would-
night and
No, it's not
talk
about that.
in
It's
the
just
air.
actually trying.
I don't know.
I
yeah.
feel like it's going into yourself.
You don't get it. It's like you have to try. You have to actually put effort in order to have a
Just
relationship
like
with
your
God. You have to
mindset.
put. Yeah, but it's not. You also have to, in order to have a relationship with God, you have to put effort in anything. If we want to have a relationship, we have to put effort into our relationship in order for it to work, right?
Yeah.
In order for you to do things, you need to put
That's-
effort in to work hard. In order to have a relationship with God, you need to put effort in. That's so true.
To have a relation. What do you mean by have a relationship?
If you want to feel God, feel close to God, feel like it's really working, it's all, what you're saying is being, heard, you need to put effort into it. You can't just,
Oh yeah. You
that's
don't
what I'm
just-
saying.
okay.
So that's why you're
You
saying
have to
it's
put
hard.
effort in everything.
That's what I'm saying, but
Yeah.
you're saying it's hard to believe, which I understand why it's hard to believe, but it wouldn't be as hard to believe if you gave it a try.
I think that
That's
a
what I'm
lot
trying
of
to
it.
I had.
The times
I know.
where-
I'm not saying you haven't. I'm just saying to the people who maybe don't believe, you should give it a try.
the times when I would say that I felt God the most is when I would say like was going into myself. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like a lot of people, which I say a lot of people because I catch myself doing this, and I feel like it's usually by talking to people, it's how they are. It's like, I guess, unconscious. You know what I mean? Like not aware of exactly what you are doing and aware of like the things around you. You know what I mean? But I still meditate and journal, but I used to do it a lot.
Yeah, journaling never really helped me, but I write down every day.
How do you journal? What is it for you?
My journaling would be more write down my thoughts, how I'm feeling. That stuff didn't help me. But I do every day write down what I have to do.
Yeah, journaling is actually pretty cool because in like 60 years you can go back and look at it.
Yeah, that's true
Which
too.
is pretty cool.
But it just never helped me. But I do like
Thank you.
I do have a planner every day, and I have boxes. So like for example, on that today says workout, jiu-jitsu, talk about that with Eric. Stuff like that is on my
right. That's
that
not
helps
really what-
me. I know, but I'm saying that's what helps me.
Yeah, I
But
think that's great.
journaling doesn't help me. Meditation I've tried. It's a little bit difficult, but breathing exercises has helped me insanely amount, which I
Yeah.
feel like is a little bit different because people try to get into like a little bit of a space when they're meditating and stuff. If I put on a song and sit there and try to meditate, I don't feel like I'm on the beach, but I do if I just sit and breathe and really focus on my breathing, that helps me.
I think it like sort of depression, which when I say that, a lot of people, especially older than me, are like, there's no way this kid could have had depression or been depressed. You know what I mean? He's a
Yeah.
little kid. But it sort of kickstarted me into like trying to improve things. Like my own like head space and just where I was going in life in general.
You feel like meditation helped?
Yeah. I mean, I started learning about it. I remember the first time I tried it, and I was like, I don't really understand, but I want to do it again. And I did it like 3 or 4 times, and then it was like the 5th time or something, and I was like, that's like really what's going on. It's like really what meditation is, and it's like you go.
But see, this is my point. You gave it a chance.
Of course, yeah.
You have to try it more than one time.
That's
you
what
have to
I mean
believe.
by depression. That's what I mean by the depression part is because like there was like nothing else to do. You know what I mean? It was like.
So you're saying at a time that you were at your low, you tried.
Yeah,
doing
that's
things.
That's where I would say that I found God. You know what I mean?
Okay, wait, hold on.
Do you do that every day?
Hold on a minute.
I meditate pretty much every day.
You feel like
But-
meditation and God though are the?
Well,
Are you
I'm
correlating
trying to-
them?
Sort of, because meditation, for me, kind of really brought me to who I really am. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
And I feel like that's where God is. You know what I mean? It's at like you peel back the layers of like what you're hiding behind. You know what I mean? Like the mask you put on to the world, and you really sit there with who you actually are as a person. That's also what journaling did for me. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Like not who everyone else sees, but if I'm thinking like just me, you know what I mean? Just it was like I would just have moments with me and God, I guess you could say, and it was like undeniable that God is with me. You know what I mean?
That's my point. You have to give it a chance. That's all I would say to any.
It's like
everybody. I feel like it's for everybody to think it's a little bit different, but my only advice would be give it a chance
yeah,
because you'll know.
yeah.
You'll know. I don't know how to explain it, and I can tell when you're like talking about this, you don't even know how to really explain it.
No,
Like it
I
almost
don't.
even with the meditation part, like you're like
It's
almost-
like love.
yeah, it's almost like stumbling because it's like you don't really know how to put in the words. And I feel like for everybody, it's a little bit different.
Yeah. If you want to really feel God, it's something that no one can tell you. No one can tell you. You're like, oh, I'll
You
go
just
do
have
that.
to do it.
Yeah, but it is a little bit interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think.
I think it just comes from, like, personally, the time when I would say that because, I mean, I grew up when I was, up until I was, I don't know, 13 or whatever. I was, like, my grandmother would push me to go to church and all that stuff. And it was, like,
Same exact thing with me.
I wasn't, like, super heavy about it, but I never felt God at all. When
But
I
you
would
have
go
to find it
church.
yourself,
I'm
right?
not. Yeah,
You feel
I
like
would
if you're
say so.
fo-
I'm not saying going to church is like you can't feel God at church. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm saying I didn't.
But do you feel like
at
it's because you're
church.
being pushed?
Maybe.
Like if you're like,
feel like that's
all
how there's
right,
a lot
get
of
up, you got to go today.
Right.
You're probably like, ugh. But
Yeah.
if you do it yourself, again,
Of course.
if you do, yeah. So like you're saying, like what you were saying before, you were at a spot where you're like, yeah, I'm gonna give this a try. You gave it a try. You did it yourself. Grandma wasn't telling you, Eric, wake
Yeah,
up, get the
yes,
freaking fuzzies
right,
out of your
right.
eyes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I lived right next to a church. I don't know if you knew that.
and
And I went for
I mentioned
4
it.
years. I just went there like every other day.
Right, but do you feel like it was forced?
But I was like,
You're
like,
a kid too, so you don't
6.
really know what's going on,
Yeah, like,
what to think. A lot of people just go there to go there, especially when they're young, because they're told, like you
And my
said.
I mean, I don't think
grandparents,
anyone
as
likes
they
to do
told
anything
me.
that they're forced to do either. You know what I mean? So it's
No, so that's what I'm saying. Like if you're not forced
I-
into doing it, you're
an
probably
interesting
gonna.
an interesting thing is my mom, which is the same grandmother, would wanted me to go to church. No hate to her, but my mom was in a Christian school and stuff like that. So like she was, you know what I mean, all in God. You know what
Yeah.
I mean, and she never said she's never felt it either. You know what I mean? I think it was just because it's being forced there. Like
You're not really finding
listen
it
to
within
God
yourself.
now. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like-
yeah. I see what
but-
you're saying.
I think that for a lot of people, it's through like very intense hardship. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like that's where it gets real.
Yeah.
And I think that's where I feel like God's always there. When it gets that real, you start to feel it more. You know
You'll
what I'm
know.
saying?
Yeah, I mean, anybody. I love these types of conversations only
So do
for
I,
the
dude.
sense
Like me and Austin have conversations like this
because
all
of the
time.
perspective. Nobody's wrong, right, or whatever. I mean,
No.
somebody could sit here and tell me they think God's not real, and
And the
it's okay
thing-
to disagree. I just want to hear other people's perspective on it because
And
I
that's
know that just the 3 people in the room think, live, do things completely different. So when you have somebody sitting down explaining like when you're meditating, you're by yourself. When you're praying, you're by yourself. So when you're explaining what you go through, it's fascinating to me, at least.
Right. Yeah. And that's the thing too, because there's the personal feelings that I have about all these things, and but when I say what I'm saying, I don't know for sure that you guys are hearing exactly how I feel about
which is
it,
fine.
You know what I mean?
I'm trying to really, and
well,
I'm
not
tell.
saying it's because you guys don't understand. I'm saying because I might not have the words to really show you how I seriously
feel.
Express it.
Yeah.
So then also the person hearing it might be in a bad mood, and they might, you know what I mean? Like,
it's all perspective.
I might not be saying it exactly how I mean it, and someone else might not be hearing it exactly how I mean it. So then it's like,
then there you go.
Yeah.
There's the miscommunication. I do want to ask you one last question. You obviously, like you said, you haven't been as consistent. Do you think you're gonna get back in the gi and try to get some stripes on that blue belt, or do you not care? You think I might? If you come back and you're
I'm never gonna do jiu-jitsu anymore for the belts.
You don't care. Yeah, that's smart. That's good. Some of the.
But I still want to. I still would like to do gi jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, you just aren't gonna focus on what's around the waist.
Right.
But do you think?
I feel like also that comes with. I feel like when you're constantly thinking about getting the next stripe, then you show up to a Tuesday class where the professor's giving stripes, and you don't get one, then you're discouraged. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you just can't think about it. Everybody's at a different. Yeah, it's a weird thing. It's a weird thing. But I wanted to ask, if you do get the urge, will you do both? If you get the urge to come back more than once a week, are you going to do both gi and no gi? That's my question.
Yeah.
Gotcha. You have anything else you want to say, Riley?
Maybe not forever, but
I love the silence of or the noise of silence.
Yeah, no, it's. Oh, you're talking about this?
No, just like in general. That's good.
If we get back to
what would we do without Riley?
No, but if we get
I know.
If we get back to the
just like this,
you're great.
If we get back to the God thing, there's this.
What?
You're great.
Shake his hand.
Give me a handshake.
There's
Let's get back to the God thing here. I'm just letting him know because I feel like he thinks that I get mad at him all the time. I without Riley, the Talk About podcast wouldn't be what it is. I just need him to know that.
When I hear about the people talk about it, but when he said the silence thing, it made me think of this one guy, and he said that something along the lines of like through silence is where you.
Wait, hold on a second.
He was about to say this.
Through silence. I do want to hear what you want to say. The only reason why I laughed is because we went from the good conversation, and then I thought Rye just said something stupid, the silent thing, and now you have a whole thing.
It's actually.
I know. Okay. So I'm gonna be quiet. I'm sorry.
He says basically through silence is how you hear God, or something like that, and that's sort of how meditation is, because you do it to reach a point of like. That when there's no thoughts in your head.
Yeah,
that's
good.
Where there's
you're not worried. You're not stressing about anything. That's when life's good. When you got nothing to think about.
It's peaceful.
Yeah, that's when
you focus on your breath to bring you into like.
Okay, but that's part of the meditation part. The part of the God part is you're also supposed to believe that no matter what happens, God is going to take care of it. Right? That's what I'm saying. You're like you're correlating the two, which is fine, but they're a little bit different. Yeah. They're a little bit like
I'm not.
You're saying
I think
if you
meditation is a vehicle that I use to get to God.
That makes sense. But yeah, thank you guys for all the love. You guys can hear us on all audio platforms: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you find your podcast. If you guys are unable to watch, but if you want to watch on YouTube. Subscribe
you can watch
to
it
Talk About Podcasts. Listen.
Watch on the work. Watch when you're pooping. Watch freaking when you're eating.
Send it to everybody.
Yeah. Eric, thank you again. Really appreciate it. We're actually going to get going pretty soon to go do jiu-jitsu. Yeah, guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Talk About Podcast after UFC 286 will be on Monday, and then a new gameplay next Thursday as well. Thank you guys so much. Hope you guys have a good day, and peace.